Hey everybody, welcome back to, or I guess welcome to, because it's the first ever one, my career in F1 24. Starting out what surely will be a GOAT career. Coming out in Q1 on a set of mediums, trying to get them warmed up, I just completely lose the car. Displaying my immense talent, surely GOAT status right here. Greatest start to a career ever. Here's another view of this, just losing it. No excuse I can really use here. Heading into the medium tire run, I was able to put a solid lap together for a 130.0, which placed me 5th out of the 5 drivers who had run at this point. Not ideal. Onto the soft run now, I wanted to try some strategy, which is something I usually don't do. So I was planning on an outlap, push, cool, push, and then an in lap. And I was confident I had enough time. I made sure to put in the gas. First push lap gave me a 129.0, so a whole second improvement. However, immediately on the cooldown lap, I did the same thing that I did on the mediums. However, I was unable to save this one, completely destroying the front wing. GOAT behavior. I was lucky the car wasn't totaled. Thought about trying to pit and go again, but I was high enough that I felt I wouldn't get dropped. Just like I predicted, not out in Q1, actually placing 5th, solid start to my career. Heading into Q2, I did a lap on the same set of softs as a sort of banker lap and was not quick at all, 130.1, slower than my medium run. I started 8th whenever I finished, and then by the time I got back to the pits, I was already 14th, so already out, definitely needing to go again. Waiting until the very end, my second run in Q2 started quite well, had a fresh set of softs on, and was flying. Heading through turn 6 and turn 7 towards the tight right-hander, just carrying a bit too much speed and invalidating the lap. Heading into the race, the game gave me triple softs and then a hard as a strategy. Sargent ended up on the strategy, so I am not doing that. Little burnout to get the rears nice and warm for traction off the line, and we await the lights. Almost jumped it, and away we go. Great start, little wheel spin, but Gasly ahead gets a terrible start as we just drive around him on the outside. Heading towards turn 1, we have a look at the outside of Albon and Stroll and Hamilton. Side by side barreling towards turn 4. No, actually 3 wide with Ocon as well. Small snap of oversteer as we are still side by side heading towards the S's. Trying to keep the nose in as Hamilton just bails, I guess. Up 5 positions on the opening lap. P10, not too shabby for first couple corners as an F1 driver.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the
Thinking
DRS
about sending it up the inside to start the second lap, however, opting to try and optimize the run to turn 4, and honestly doing neither, losing time on Ricardo, doing a bang-up job of that. On to lap 5, getting a much better run out of turn 1 and turn 2 as right up to the back of Ricardo. I have a glance inside and he doesn't cover it off for some reason, so I go for it. Up the inside, slam dunk move. But I was a little ambitious, getting back on the power and almost spinning the car. So now the Honey Badger is inside me again. Pause. And going through the S's, I just managed to keep my nose in as I stay alongside and have the inside for the next corner. Easy pass. On to lap 6 now, as we
Gap to
see
your
something that
teammate
will
behind.
become a trend in this race, which
5
is that
seconds.
Sauber is an absolute log on the straights. Even with ERS, it's just a rock. Ricardo gets by, but I'm able to stay with Hamilton and out-traction him to keep 10th place. Lap 9 now, I dummy up the inside of Ricardo, but send it around the outside as I try to switch back, but Hamilton is there, so I can't cut in as much as I really wanted to. Heading towards turn 4, no move there, but huge oversteer as I get, 2 snaps of oversteer. These softs are
Okay, clear.
cooked.
Okay, some information on
Towards the
Gasly.
hairpin,
Right, they've
as
got
on the
serious
exit, I
car
get
issues. It
yet
looks like they're
another snap
retiring.
of oversteer. Lap 10, I'm fading from the V car, but Alonso and Piastri get into a little kerfuffle and bring me back within DRS range. Or I would have been within DRS range had I not nearly spun the car in the first turn. I decided to try and box this lap and
Right,
try
let's
and
have you in at
undercut
the end of
everybody
this lap,
else.
please. Okay, mate. Engine's running very, very hot. Engine's running hot. Let's try and keep it cooler.
Towards the end of the lap now, Hamilton gets a run on me. I defend very
Try to stay
aggressively,
with them.
kind of
Might make a
questioning
mistake and we could
whether
still
that was
regain the
legal or
position.
not, but we don't worry about that. Could have stayed out another lap and tried and made a
Pitting
position
this
as
lap
I
then.
did
Come
have
into the
DRS,
pits at the
but
end of
I
this lap.
pitted nonetheless. I head to lap 14 where I get my first track limits penalty. I get one more freebie and then the penalty. Lap 15, few people pitted, promoting me to P16, having exited the pits in P19.
The car ahead's coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now running medium tyres. Green flag.
Yellow towards the end of lap 16 as I go through the final turn,
Valtteri
somehow
is in
getting
for
a
his
run on
stop.
Norris. Lucky for me, K-Mag is following Sainz, and Sainz gets moved over to the right side, giving me the good old suck and tuck. Braking perhaps a bit too early as Norris and Sainz get out in front as I have slight contact with K-Mag.
Okay, 40 laps of fuel left.
Braking into turn 4, getting right up to the back of those two with Norris now ahead of Sainz. Going into the awkward left-hander, Sainz locked up, promoting me to 8th place. However, this lockup could very well have costed me the race, as now I fall out of DRS range of Norris, and I am now very exposed to the cars
Great
behind,
maneuver. You made
because
it look
like I
so
said,
easy.
this Sauber is a piece of shit. Norris puts the fastest lap right in my face, going through a bunch of people in the pits, and I'm running 4th place in the Stake Formula One Team Kick Sauber. However, this bliss would not last, as on the very next lap, Sainz passes me very easily on the straights. Then Russell has to look up the inside, but I'm able to keep him just behind. But by the end of the lap, I'd fallen out of DRS range of Sainz, and so Russell just drove by me with Leclerc getting up the inside, but he bails out of turn 3.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
However, once again, at the end of the lap, I'd fallen out of DRS range, and so Leclerc just drove by me. I tried defending, the outside was wide open. I'm not sure why he insisted on going inside, but he went inside. Going back to my racing line, Alonso gets up the inside but can't make it stick. Yuki with the fastest lap, interestingly, as I get my second track limits violation. Last chance before I get a penalty. Guys, you will never believe this. At the end of the lap, I had fallen out of DRS range, and Alonso drove straight by me. Now Piastri looks up the inside. I once again fended him off at turn 2. However, Piastri doesn't even wait until the main straight DRS zone. He was feeling a little spicy, so he tried right before the zone on the penultimate corner. I let him go because I thought the DRS detection zone was after the corner for some reason. Hamilton, in the exact same way as Piastri, gets alongside me before the main straight as I try the switchback, but once again, way too liberal on the throttle, and I almost spin the car. Again.
Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs.
Not sure what strategy my engineer was looking at, but I had to inform him of his misinformation. Perez now trying it round the outside before the main straight as I force him a little wide, little cheeky, but nothing he hasn't done. Perez now up the inside at the final turn on lap 25 as he gets on the inside, just showing you the absolute speed of this Sauber.
Okay,
DRS is open, have a little bit of suck and tuck from
push
Perez.
now, we're boxing this
Both
time.
Red Bull
Okay, so we're
cars
leading our
just go
teammate
soaring by.
10,
Ricciardo was coming
0.6
in towards the
seconds.
first corner, so I defended very last second. Perez and Yuki are side by side as I try to nip up the inside for a run, but I get a little too ambitious and get myself a 3-second penalty. I thought, fuck it, I already have a penalty, so I sent it up the inside. I didn't spin this time and kept side by side for Perez for about half a second before Perez showed me why Red Bull is the fastest car. A little bit of oversteer as the rears were starting to go, so I decided to box again for hards. On lap 37, cutting the corner just a little bit too close and getting yet another warning for track limits. Jumping ahead a little bit, lap 46, heading through the high-speed turns toward the end of the lap and just taking too much curb, almost losing the car. Just about managing to keep Tsunoda behind. Absolute rocket ship that I'm driving. Coming back at Yuki into turn 1, throwing a dummy up the inside, going around the outside, keeping my speed and just edging out Yuki. Lap 50 coming towards the penultimate corner, turning it a bit too early and getting my second 3-second penalty. I was previously trying to back Yuki up into Ricciardo, hoping they would squabble a little bit and I could slip away and hopefully build up that gap. But now that I have a 6-second penalty, the odds were slim to none. So I decided to stop defending. I'm not going to move offline. But I wasn't going to make any moves. That notion immediately went straight out the window as I get a switchback plus DRS on Ricciardo heading to lap 51. I got a warning here for contact with Ricciardo, and I opened up the replay trying to figure out where it was because I didn't think that I hit him. Nothing, like in the first turn, you can kind of see it a little bit there. It was like netcode. Next lap, Ricciardo drove straight by me. I was done out of the points and honestly out of patience, giving Ricciardo a little love tap on the way through, show my love for the honey badger. As I get my 7th track limits penalty. Lap 54, I just wanted to have some fun, so I threw another dummy on Ricciardo. Haters will say that I ran him out of space, but we can clearly see that there was space. For what feels like the 10th time, Ricciardo goes past on the main straight, but I managed to keep him behind going to turn 4. Okay, that time I did low-key kind of run him out of room. But this time, Ocon is in the mix, and maybe they can slow each other down by 2 seconds a lap for 3 laps, and I can get 10th. Ocon makes short work of Ricardo and almost makes short work of me, but I show him the edge of the track on the final lap. Max Verstappen wins the season opener. Big surprise. Guys, did you see this coming? Max Verstappen wins the first race. I do remember having an absolutely massive snap of oversteer going through that right-hander. I didn't find it while I was going through the footage, but it was a solid like 30, 35, 40 degrees sideways. It was gargantuan. I did thoroughly enjoy this race, even though I didn't score or really go forwards by very much or stay clean. But it was fun in the soft stint. Everything else kind of sucked, I'm not gonna lie. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. It is by far the biggest one I've made, which isn't really saying much, but if y'all have any suggestions, comment them down below, and I will see y'all next time. Like and subscribe. See ya.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.